Mr. Chairman, for us as a party, I think political communication is key. No political party can survive without effective communication. And for you to be able to communicate effectively, you must understand the issues being spoken about. My first day at Asempa FM, they had put me on the show. I didn't know those I was going to meet. Nana Kumia was like, go, go, go. Today you are on this program. I entered the studio. Then I saw Anita Disoso, Kwesi Pratt Jr. Then I think there was a third person, Yao Boatinjan. Mr. Chairman, I had made some small note on paper on the issues to be discussed. Some way, somehow, I misplaced the paper. But I think it gave me a rude awakening that no matter how much you prepare, you should always make sure that you have a mental recollection of whatever you have prepared. Mr. Chairman, in the pool of TESCON and the youth wing, it provides a fertile ground for our communications machinery to recruit effective leaders of our party, both in the area of communication and strategy. The five fingers are not the same. Not everybody can be a communicator. So if you are not good at communication, don't think that you are not part of the structure. Some are very good with writing. Some are good with organizing. And some are also effective on how to communicate. One group of people that we hardly encourage to communicate are the women. But respectfully, when a woman is even telling a lie, respectfully, it's very difficult for you to call her a liar. But the moment a guy attempts to deviate, Master, you're a liar. Oh boy. But for a woman, for some reason or the other, you want to believe what she's saying is the truth. And it's on this note that I want to encourage many of our young TESCON leaders and members of the youth wing to rise to the occasion and become the Antoinettes that we have, the Louisa Atadimans that we have, and the many young ladies that who continue to represent the party on our mainstream communication. The Cozies, that's the Akosia menus, and the rest, the Vera, and all those. And those who have been very effective on our social media as well. Some of our regional women organizers are also splendid. But in delving deep into our political communication, I think first of all, we must understand where we came from as a party, where we are now as a government, and the vision of the party and government moving into 2024. Nobody can communicate the party's vision better than the TESCON people. None. Anytime you have TESCON leading or the youth wing leading a party's election or campaign machinery, the possibility of the party securing victory is very high. One, there's a burning desire to make history. And two, they want to be named that it was through their effort that we won. There's hunger and the passion to deliver. When they're on radio, you cannot accuse them of being appointees or they've been ministers or so you signed this contract or tisu freestyle. So he has no boundaries in going after the opponent. And so for me, the fertile ground to recruit our communicators at the next level, communications director, respectfully, will be from our TESCON pool. And not because Salam is here, but he's done fantastic since he became national youth leader. I think he's been able to visit almost all the regions and every region, together with his able deputies. And for me, as a national youth organizer must communicate. The rise to fame of all our famous former youth leaders were the ability to communicate the clarity of thought and the surgical operation of their communication. If you take Mustafa Hamid, if you take Abe Fakabo, if you take John Boedu, if you take myself, if you take Sharp Esiama, and the Apia Kubi, and all those, all of them were able to, and Nanabi. These are your words. But all of them, because they were able to put pressure on the opponent as youth leaders, they were successful too because they also understood the issues. And Salam is not deviating from that part. Salam is lucky because he will enjoy the support of all these youth greats, including activists, the Manavs, and all those who have been part of our struggle. Mr. Chairman, one thing that I've seen too with our current regional youth leadership is that they are also effective communicators and powerhouses. For TESCON, I believe that National Youth Wing must also simplify the achievements of our party and government in simple terms for almost every TESCON member. They live in their communities with the people, they share the rooms with their colleagues, and they are represented effectively on the campuses. You can't beat a TESCON person who is seized with the fact and the ability to deliver. It's not all the time that the raps, you have to use it on the ladies. You have to communicate what your party stands for. Aha. Odo kakra, party kakra, they count. Chairman, nina no kahubi. Mama, easy. So basically, once you simplify what the party's communication is about, and then there's regular interaction between the party structure and the members of the party, I think that's one thing that I see it missing a bit. I see the comms directorate always circulating our speaking notes for the day. But I believe that a comprehensive bullet point, if you take the area of education, even if you segment it in such a way that at the tertiary level, education, this is what we've done. At the basic level, this is what we've done. This was what we inherited. This is where we're going. If you take sports and youth development, if you take health, if you take agriculture, the NPP's biggest problem is not that we haven't achieved being in government, but it's our ability to communicate what we have been able to also achieve in government. Because man to man, item by item, pillar by pillar, segment by segment, sector by sector, we have performed creditably well. In 2024, we have to work times 2 to win 2024. I'm being brutally frank. In 2016, there was a considerable level of agitation for change. And the very reason why your campaign in 2024 will be different is that the campaign in opposition is different from a campaign when you are in government. If nothing will remind you, what should remind you is that when you are in opposition, you use change. When you are in government, you use continuity. So the very understanding of the fact that you know where you are and how to be persuasive to win the new voter will be key. Don't be an aggressive person when you are communicating. Always try to also be genuine on what the issues are. Globally, times are tough. So if you're a communicator and you go to sit on radio and you do not admit that times are tough, the people won't listen to what you are saying. Because everywhere, people chop hot. So it's not a Ghanaian one. But you have to do an analysis of the global, of the continental, of the local, and the pocket economy. And for you to be an effective communicator when you have the fact, it's also your ability to break it down for the common understanding of the person listening to you. If you also want to be a very good and a strategic politician, My advice is that don't always think for the people. Anytime you are communicating, the understanding should be what will influence the voter on the day of it.